Welcome to everybody. It's so lovely to see everybody ready for a wonderful new school year. Yippee. My name is Douglas Walters. I'm the Director of Academic Assessment. And this year we are migrating away from Sakai, and we're migrating toward not one but two LMSs. And I have probably answered this question, why two? Probably answered that question about 800 times. And the same people have asked me that, right? Every time I answer it, right? A couple weeks go by and they forget, and they say, why again are we having two LMSs? So I thought before we went in to talk about Engrade, I would quickly go through why we're having two LMSs so that you can tell all your friends, and then they can spare themselves from asking me again. What's an LMS? An LMS is a learning management system. Blackboard is an LMS, Engrade's an LMS, Desire to Learn is an LMS, Angel is an LMS, WebCT is an LMS. There's a whole industry out there devoted to LMS. So most of our classes are face-to-face, right? And we're going to teach about 1,700 face-to-face classes this fall. And the most common uses for LMSs in face-to-face courses is just to put grades online. Right? When we survey students and we say, what do you do most with the LMS? Well, far and away the most popular answer is, I check my grades. I mean, there are some other common things that students do online. Faculty like to post a syllabus, post some PowerPoint slides, post some web links. Sometimes we track attendance. Those are very common, but posting grades online, that's like number one. And most instructors here at ECC post their grades the old-fashioned way in a pencil and paper grade book. And at the end of the semester, they upload them to that. And so it would be very helpful to the students in the college if every instructor used an LMS at least to track grades, because students find that very helpful and very useful. And if we want everybody to learn to post grades, it would be good to have an LMS that made that really, really easy. So that's sort of item number one. Now, some courses are 100% online for the first time. This fall, we're going to have about 20 courses that are 100% online. Now remember, 1,700 face-to-face, 20 courses, 100% online. Now, if you're teaching a course that is 100% online, you need some sophisticated features, especially online quizzes, integration with the major publishers, plagiarism checking systems, and so on and so forth. And those features are complicated. They just have a lot of choices. And so the needs of instructors who are teaching 100% online are just different from the needs of instructors who are teaching face-to-face. And an LMS that serves online courses is certainly capable of posting grades online, but asking faculty to learn a very complicated, very involved, multi-featured, multi-layered LMS just so that they can post grades in a syllabus is like making a problem instead of making a solution. Just to give you a little bit of process, the College Computing Advisory Council spent 2 years. Ron, you spent a year doing this, didn't you?
Oh, more than a year. That's going back quite a distance.
Okay, multiple years.
Multiple years.
Multiple years reviewing them. Last year it kind of reached a crescendo. We brought some vendors on campus. But they ultimately concluded that Engrade was the best choice for the majority of faculty teaching face-to-face courses. But it just didn't have the power for the 100% online courses. And we tried to find one that had both. But, there are some things that you just can't have. You cannot always have power and simplicity. And so they reviewed all this stuff, and that's how we got two LMSs. Okay. Yeah, so, that's just the way it happened. So with that, I'm now going to introduce Richard, who is going to show you. It's this one, isn't it? Yes. Engrade. Remember, Engrade, right, for the 1,700 courses that are being taught face-to-face, Engrade is very likely the best option for you. With that, I will sit down. Thank you, Richard.
Hello, my name is Richard. My friends call me Jeffrey. I'm going to be taking you into Engrade, showing you how to use some of the features, and also showing you those of you will probably be using Engrade the most. Let's go to the first slide. What is Engrade? Engrade, like Moodle, is an learning management system designed to create seamless communication for professors who are going to be teaching hybrid courses for them and their students. So this will allow them, send messages as well as keep track of their assignments and attendance online. Is Engrade right for you? Engrade is the perfect program for beginners new to online management systems, as well as those wishing to keep the organization tools at hand, as well as those who are not really used to the complicated learning management system, like, I don't know, Moodle or Engrade you mentioned before. Moodle is more for advanced users, those who already know what they're doing, those who don't need to be in this presentation right now. It's also great for online courses, and offers a lot more customization and many more tools that can be used for the classes. Why use Engrade? Engrade is, like I said, a user-friendly learner's management system, as well as a wonderful tool to print out Excel spreadsheets for your gradebook, your attendance sheet, and I believe you can print out your messages as well. So you can always have an on-hand copy of everything that's online. It also includes an integrated iPad application. So those of you with iPads can use Engrade online on your iPad. Instructors have access to Engrade anywhere and anytime, and the ability to update their attendance sheet, their gradebook, and messages all at the same time. You'll also have 24/7 phone support with Engrade, which will be given, the number will be given at a later date. Benefits for students. Students will have access to their grades and assignments that are missing and assignments that are due. So you won't have all the students coming to you at the same time asking what assignments they have to do. They should already know when they log on to Engrade. Printing. The gradebook can be printed as well as student individual reports. So as the semester progresses and students start asking questions about how they're doing in the grade in the class, you can print out a report that shows them everything, that's what they've done, what they need to do, as well as what their grade is so far for the semester. The basic class settings, actually very simple. Like I said, Engrade is a simple learning management system. And adjusting class settings is as easy as selecting the settings. The settings link on the left side of the screen. And as in Sakai, a lot of professors wanted the option to sort students by their last name. It made it easier for them. That can be done in Engrade. They can also be sorted by their ID number or the class percentage. Adding assignments. This is a lot easier in Engrade. You have two different ways to add assignments. On the left side, you have the assignments link. Also in Gradebook, you have button at the top of the grade book that says Add Assignment. With this, it'll take you to the assignment edit page. You can edit the assignment name, how many points possible, the due date, as well as which category you want the assignment added to. At the bottom, you'll also notice the scores can also be entered underneath the assignment. Assignment can also be graded in the grade book, which is also a link on the left side of the screen. So everything that you see here will provide easy access as you're going through. Yes?
Can you enlarge the screen a little?
No.
Come back.
No.
Yeah, go back a little bit.
No.
That's
No.
our extension cord.
Oh, okay.
No.
You want to move up?
Yes.
No, that's okay.
There's a chair up here.
Thank you.
Yes.
How do you access it? How do you access it?
Access Engrade?
Yeah.
So the answer to the question is, IT is still implementing Engrade, and there is no current access. But we got 7 days to go, right? Plenty of time.
I don't think it's a necessity to use Engrade, and the reason we don't need to use that one is because we will use a Moodle, and whatever you're doing in Engrade, you're doing in Moodle maybe better than Engrade. And
Wait a minute.
yes, it's not necessarily one more time I can say to use Engrade, because the same thing you do in Engrade, you can do in a Moodle and you can do better.
Let's just hear Jeff out, will you?
I've been using Moodle for more than 10 years, and I know I can do the same thing in Moodle without using Engrade. I think we don't need Engrade if we're going to use Moodle on the college.
Well,
I'm teaching online for more than 10 years.
correct.
Okay.
You use Moodle.
Wait. Stop. We're not having this argument, okay? Anybody that wants to use Engrade is welcome to use Engrade.
Thank you.
The reason
That's
is,
and now-
excuse me.
And now we're going to give Richard back.
Let me ask questions.
Richard is
please.
going to have the floor again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Yes. Grading assignments in Gradebook is as easy as clicking on the selected assignment, and under each student's name here, you will see, all you have to do is add in the score, the points that they've earned. Uploading resources. Oh,
I'm just looking.
Mhm.
I have a
Uploading
question.
resources, yes.
If you create a quiz, is it possible if it's all multiple choice for you to have answers and then they will auto check if the student goes through the quiz so that you don't have to go back through each one of their answers?
You mean in Engrade?
Yeah, in Engrade, is there a possibility for it just to auto check?
Yes.
Oh, okay, if you already upload the answers
Yes.
prior to them taking the
Exactly.
quiz, okay.
Hi, Richard, if you have Connect, and the students are working on Connect, can you feed the Connect scores into here, then you don't have to do it hand grade? Whatever they do on Connect automatically feeds into this?
Yes.
No.
Well,
Connect is another learning management system run by McGraw-Hill, and it tracks students' scores throughout the semester, but it will only feed the student's final end-of-course grade back to Engrade. So it will not feed individual assignment scores back to Engrade. It will only feed sort of the end final average score back.
Is there any other system that we can use so that individuals, does McGraw-Hill, can they help us with this? That Susan has anybody working on something like this?
It is an open question.
Okay.
Okay. We don't have a full answer yet.
anybody else?
Keep going. We've got 10 minutes.
Okay. Uploading resources. Up at the top, you'll notice there's an apps button. Underneath the apps button, you'll open up a Dropbox that says Files. You select Files, and it'll bring you to the Browse for Files page. here you select the browse and you search for whatever files you need to upload. You can upload text files, images, and PowerPoint presentations. Messages to all students.
Excuse me, Jeff,
Yes.
how would you,
Yes.
how would I get my PowerPoints to that? I didn't understand what you said by upload.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
how do you do that?
All right. When you select browse, it'll open up a dialog box. From there, you can search for if you have it on the desktop or in your documents file. You can search for the specific PowerPoint and select insert. And then after you select insert, you will hit upload right below where it says browse, and then the PowerPoint will show up on Engrade.
So it's just like adding an attachment to an email.
Exactly. Okay, messages to all students. Send a message to all students. Up at the top again, you'll see the messages button. You select send, which will open up this screen you see here. And when you select this screen, it will give you an option to select all students. So you don't have to go through and select each individual student. You select all students. And then you fill out, just like a regular email, you fill out the subject and whatever you need to add in the message. As well as you can add attachments and different things like that. Contacts. Engrade.com/contact.php. That's the current link to get a hold of customer service. And here you have the Faculty Resource Center, which is me, Richard, Maria, and Danielle. So if you call this number 973-877-3463.
What?
Okay, 3463. You'll reach either one of us.
Again, I go back to my question from the beginning. If we're going to have Moodle, what is the reason to have two learning platforms when Moodle do exactly what is Engrade doing?
Well, as you said before, you've used Moodle for 10 years. This is not for you. You can use Moodle. Everybody else who does not want to use Moodle can use Engrade. So, though I don't know anybody in here who has trouble not following through, but
It's
going
like a
through.
baby step. So I would
There
take
you
the
go.
baby step, learn Engrade, and as I progress through my steps, I would eventually hope to get to Moodle. So we're trying to get the college as a whole from baby up to adult, yes?
Thank you.
And the college is taking us there step by step. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Jeff?
That is correct.
Okay.
Like I said, a better one.
I mean, that's how I understand it. Thank you.
And
Excuse me, one
Thank
question.
you.
When you generating the class list, like the students' names, does the college allow the use of student's ID or the last name, or do we have to generate something like numbers for the students? Because I used them before. One of the professors was telling me that it's advisable to generate other numbers rather than the student ID going online. So I don't know what the college position is on this.
I believe IT is still trying to integrate Banner into the system.
Right.
So the students will automatically show up
Right.
with their ID numbers. You won't have to add any other ID numbers. I mean,
Right.
I'm
The
sure you can
question
if you
was one
want
of
to.
confidentiality.
Right, I was just trying to
Numbers
look at the
should be
student's ID
used.
number.
And I think that's going to be a question for Dr. Bella de Castro in the larger sense of do we want to avoid exposing student ID numbers?
Okay.
And what about email? In the Sakai, you could only send to their college emails, okay? And students, they don't always use their college email. They had their own personal ones. What is that? How does that?
Don't know the answer to that? We'll make a note and find out.
Yeah.
I co-teach a course with another faculty member. Can we both have access as the teacher? Would we share?
Whoever has
the same
original
password?
access can actually, you can be added. as an instructor.
Okay, so
So-
there can be more than one instructor for courses.
I have a question. Is it going to be available for instructors full-time and part-time, or only full-time?
I believe it's supposed to be all instructors.
So all instructors.
Go ahead.
Regarding Engrade, I just wanted to say that Engrade has a self-contained messaging feature in it. So once all of your students are there, the students are self-contained in Engrade once you add them. So you can message, I can message one student, I can message the whole class, or I can message a few.
Yeah.
Regarding the other question that my dear professor mentioned about Moodle and Engrade, what happens is that, and I endorse what my colleague said also, Engrade is a learning management system where you take baby steps. It's not only us, it's our students. Many students, I don't think, can handle Moodle off the top of their head like that. And don't misunderstand me, Moodle is for moderate to advanced users or advanced users. So I think that Engrade would put all of us on the same page. Some of my colleagues here have been using Engrade, and I started also with baby steps. I've been using it for more than 6 years, and some of my colleagues also. So I believe that if we are all using the same platform, let's not think of ourselves, let's think of our students. Our students also have to go moving that ladder up, and it takes some time for them to get it. So we are sort of modeling, we will show them how to use it, and it takes some time to really get to use it, even though it's user-friendly.
He's been raising his hand for a while.
We also want to give an endorsement for Engrade. I've been using Engrade longer, actually, introduce Samuel to it. It's something that faculty and students can catch on very quickly. And I've really never had a student complain about it. They get on, they see what they need to see, and it's really simple to use. Hopefully IT will get it integrated so people can test it out.
This is more of a technical question. How often is this backed up in case it all,
How is it
data,
backed up?
how often is it backed up so that your data is not in jeopardy of being lost and you haven't printed out everything like your grade book and God forbid and lose all of your scores for the last semester. So can I be confident that that's not going to happen or should?
Well, Engrade is hosted off-site by the Engrade company. I'm not sure if their name is different from Engrade. So these are not our servers, these are Engrade servers.
Okay.
And they've been around just for about a decade, and they serve primarily K-12 schools, but I think they have, sort of full professional system backups going on, probably daily, weekly, monthly, and so on. And I think you could be pretty confident that your data will not get lost.
You can also download your individual data to your computer from Engrade very simply.
Just as a point for, so I've been using Engrade also, and last semester, out of 24 students, 15 already had experience using Engrade, and my other class, 13 did. So it was really small learning curves that they've been using for one of other classes, so that's another reason, just like, that's it.
Richard?
Go ahead.
If we're already using Engrade, will we have to kind of start over if it's through the college now as opposed to the free version we have been using?
Yes, I will.
So I'll have to start my whole lesson plans and everything. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and I have a question. How do we switch over from all the stuff we have in Sakai and get it into Engrade?
Well, for that, we have a wonderful staff at the Faculty Technology Resource Center, and depending on how complicated your stuff is, you might need more or less consulting, but they will help you migrate from your old platform to the new platform.
Yeah, I just want to give my experience. I have attended a workshop with Moodle, but that's what they use at NJIT. A lot of people have attended workshop with Moodle, and they still can't use it after the workshop. Moodle, it took me a long time to really learn how to use Moodle. And I tell you, a lot of faculty at NJIT, they don't want to use it because of the complexity of it. But I spent hours of work trying to learn it until I eventually got it.
So you can see why people keep asking me, why do we have two LMSs? And I keep answering, and they keep asking. Because we, amongst ourselves, can't even stop talking about it.
That's all the questions? One more?
And that'll be the last question since it's now 11:15, and we are going to stay on schedule. The new schedule.
Considering that using two systems, considering that using two LMS systems,
how do students log onto the system? Let's say students have two classes and one professor is using Moodle and one is using Engrade. Do they have to have different sign-ons for both systems, or is there going to be universal sign-on?
In the beginning, there'll be a default password, things like that, but they can change that after they log in.
How do they sign up?
It should be through web services now.
So the plan, keep in mind that IT is still doing the integration as we speak. The plan is that students will log on to My ECC. And from My ECC, there will be a Moodle button and an Engrade button, which will take them to either of those LMSs without further log on. Okay, so they log on once to My ECC, they click one of these two buttons, they go to the LMS without additional logging on. That's the plan. It is not yet there. Will it be there by September 3rd? Maybe.
A whole week.
Maybe.
Had a whole summer, we're talking about a whole week.
How do they expect to get access to it? Everybody has to
It's 11:17, and I'm happy to answer questions, but I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you.